What is going on, everybody? Z here. Welcome back. So today we're doing a video that's a little bit different, and the reason we're doing this video today is because I've been getting a lot of questions lately. I don't know if it's because we're live streaming more. I don't know if I've seen them popping up more in the comments. We're getting a lot of questions about Subnautica 2 or the next Subnautica. We're calling it Subnautica 2 because that's what everybody's calling it. So we're calling it Subnautica 2. We're gonna go in. I'm gonna talk to you about what I know. We're gonna talk about the news. Basically, there's nothing really new. I don't think there's anything new, but in case you don't know what's going on or you want more information, I'm gonna talk about everything I know. I'm gonna talk about what I think, my opinion, and yeah, pretty exciting stuff. So hopefully you're having a wonderful day. I'm having a fantastic day. Let's get into it let's go back a little bit and let's talk about the controversy. Let's start with the controversy that was the beginning of the Subnautica 2. So we're going to Crafton, which they're basically a company that I believe they're publishing. I believe they're like the publishing for Subnautica 2. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I could say whatever I say could be wrong, but we got information here. So what happened was they came out with an earnings statement, an earnings report. This came out a while ago. Actually, the website's down. I had to go to the Wayback Machine in order to find this information because I remember hearing about it, but I didn't talk about it. Basically, they talked about Subnautica 2. They said, hey, what's going to happen? Multiplayer sequel to the original IP, pursuing fandom snowballing. All right. Explore an oceanic world in stunning stylized graphics powered by Unreal Engine 5. Sounds good. Awesome. Unreal Engine 5. Single or 1 to 4 player co-op to uncover the mysteries of an entirely new alien planet. So there's one thing. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And then game as a service model with enhanced replayability. Everybody lost their minds here. This is the spot. Everybody lost their minds. Games as a service model with enhanced replayability. And the reason I think people lost their minds. Now, I have a for argument for this and I have an against argument for this. Let's start off with the against argument. The against argument is games as a service model with enhanced replayability can mean, if done incorrectly, that you get recycled events, you get recycled content that is seasonal, and you get a store full of cosmetics that you can spend more money on with no actual new content inside. So that is not a game as a service model. Also with the microtransactions, things like that. I'm split on microtransactions, and I'll tell you why. I can understand if you like a game and it's a game you're going to be putting a lot of time into. You might want to buy some skins. You might want to buy some enhancement. You might want to buy some things that look fancy, right? If you're going to be playing it a lot, go ahead. If you want to spend more money, go for it. I do not like pay to win models. I don't like buying gear. I don't like buying items in games that are going to give you, the enhancements. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like paying for crafting components for games that are like, time-based, or like you have to research this item for like 5 days, or you can buy this gem and speed it, like that stuff. I don't like that stuff. That stuff just stay to the wayside. I also don't like loot crates. Loot crates need to stay out of this game as well. But the part of the paying part, now this is a games as a service model. They didn't say microtransactions. They said games as a service model. So I threw in the microtransactions. That's on me. But like if it's cosmetics and skins like that, stuff like that, that's fine. But the other side, the flip side, the games as a service model with enhanced replayability, is I like the idea of having seasonal events in a Subnautica type setting. I like the idea of having, maybe your Reaper Leviathans have little Santa Claus hats on them, or, maybe they have costumes, or maybe there's candy to be found, like, in areas and stuff like that. I like that as a games as a service model, because that adds a little bit more replayability to it, which I don't know if that's what they were going after or not, but, yeah, everybody lost their minds with this, so nobody wanted games as a service model, which is fine. It's completely fine. It is what it is. I'm not worried about it either way. I'm hoping that I think Unknown Worlds knows what they're doing with this, and I don't think they would let that happen. So now let's talk about how Unknown Worlds responded to this. Also, if you have any points or any comments you want to comment down below, absolutely do it. Would love to hear. But Unknown Worlds actually posted an update about this as well because of that backlash. And basically, an update about the next Subnautica. Hello, Subnauts. A few of you noticed some information shared online by our publisher, Crafton. There it is, publisher. See, I know it's a publisher. While some of the news is exciting, we'd like to clarify. Early access is not intended for release in 2024, but we plan to share a lot more information later this year. So they are not going into early access in 2024. As the other posts we have say. In reference to games as a service, we simply plan to continually update the game for many years to come, just like the previous 2 Subnautica games. Think our early access update model expanded, no season passes, no battle passes, no subscriptions. There we go. So that answered everybody's questions. Do I still think that they could throw a microtransaction shop in there? Absolutely. Am I for it? Nope. Do I want to push it? Nope. But if it's there and people want to pay for it and it's just like cosmetic stuff, like I get games needing to make money afterwards. I understand that, like I get it, but at the same time, don't shove it down everybody's throat. The game is not multiplayer focused. Co-op will be an entirely optional way to play the game. You'll be able to enjoy the game as single player. So this is a single player driven game, like what we've come to know, like what we come to use, or what we're used to. And you can play it co-op. Now, does that mean 1 to 2 players, 1 to 4 players? I don't know, because cooperatively could mean anything. It could mean 1 other player, it could mean 2 other players, it could mean 3 other players. I don't know. We've seen different titles play different co-op games differently. So I don't know what that's going to mean. I have no idea. And as always, we are proud to and incredibly grateful to have such a passionate and engaged community who love the Subnautica games deeply. Thanks for keeping an eye out for news about our progress on the game. We're so excited to show you what we've been working on and hope that you love it as much as we do, the Subnautica team. So that was their update. That was their information. So cool, fine, all right, cool. That's the drama. Let's get into like what's new, right? So we have a few images of the game itself. We have images that Subnautica have themselves posted on Twitter, and I will tell you right now, it looks amazing. Let's see. Let's get the first one pulled up. So I believe this is the first one they shared, because this is like their they're like one of the backgrounds for like the Subnautica 2 website. So we've got this beautiful scene that looks new but familiar. It still looks like Subnautica. It still could be the same planet. And that was something else that in the crafting thing they said on a whole new planet. So are we actually on a new planet? Are we not? I don't know, because this looks very similar. There's aspects of it that look very similar, but there's aspects that don't look very similar. We have all new types of fish in here. So except for these little, it looks like we have some like psychedelic, those like ones that open up, the flowers, they open up and they like become like psychedelic and like trance you in. Those kind of look like they're in here, but I think they're a little bit different. It looks like we also still have some crash fish or some of the explodey fish. I don't know. It looks like we have a new type of peeper that looks like it might have like a gel stack around it, which is kind of cool. I really liked the translucent effects that the Ghost Leviathan had, so I'd like to see that return as well. And it looks like we also have, a little sub, if you will. It doesn't look like the sea moth, and I would say it looks more like a sea truck than anything, but it doesn't really look like the sea truck either. And then we have like, a giant little whale thing attacking it. So other than that, like this image, I mean, it looks good, it looks neat, it looks very promo-esque. I don't know if this was shot in game. I don't know if it is it looks just, I'm gonna guess it's just a render. I'm not gonna say it's like in-game footage, but I mean, it's just because of like the positioning and the lighting and like how this is like just perfect. You know what I mean? So that was the first image that we got. And then we got another one for this guy. Now, I believe this was also posted with a, they want Subnautica 2 questions. So this is another image. It's not quite as sharp. It's not quite as detailed, but we've got like an underwater cave area. We've got the, some hanging plants, stuff like that. It looks like it's not super deep. But I mean, again, it looks familiar. Like if I saw this in Subnautica or Below Zero, it's like, it looks like just another biome. It doesn't look like anything super special, super fancy. So this is the stuff that they've posted like on their account, right? So this is like confirmed their stuff that they posted. Now, let's get into the fun stuff, shall we? Let's get into the speculation. Everybody put your hats on. This is where comments could get wild, and definitely leave your comments down below. I'm curious. Or if you happen to find anything, or you happen to have any other images or pictures or anything, post them on Twitter. Hit me on Twitter. Would love to see them. Or you can post them in the Discord, whatever you want to do. But let's go ahead and let's talk about some other pictures, shall we? All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about this one. So we've got some time capsules that are being found that could possibly have some leaks or some information about Subnautica 2. Now, people are saying that these are time capsules that are being submitted by the devs that are being slowly like sent out. I don't know if there's a way to test it. I don't know if there's a way to see like who made it. I don't know if there's a way to verify this. So please take all of this with a grain of salt. But as you can see, we have this PDA entry here. Hey, found this thing on the way back to the rocket. Is this thing new? Never seen it before. So now this and hashtag Peepers Rule. So this time capsule 576174557, whatever. But the image, and then like found this on the way to the rocket. Is this thing new? Never seen it before. On the way to the rocket. Okay. Now is that just, are they just saying like, hey, they're just being playful, saying on the way back to the rocket from Subnautica, like, you know, because everybody knows about the rocket by now. The game's been out forever. Are they being playful, or are they saying that there's actually a rocket? Like, are they being serious here? You know what I mean? I don't know. But let's look at the image a little bit more. So this is that image. Now, what does it look like? Well, it looks like we have some of that transparent, kind of translucent skin stuff that the Ghost Leviathan had, which is really cool. And then we've got this like really rainbowy things coming out of it. Now, to me, from this image, it looks like it is like, it looks like it's a pseudo living organism. What do I mean by that? It looks like it's a type of like coral or something like that, because if you look, there's coral all around it, there's coral inside of it. So it kind of looks like it might be like, you know, an evolved gel sac, if you will. And that there's, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's part of it. It's part of its, you know, environment here. We have like some other peepers, some like reddish pink looking peepers up there. That look pretty sick. And I mean, other than that, it looks good. It looks good. It's pretty cool. All right, so the next one that we have looks like the same thing. It's still the gel sacky thing, and it looks like they found it. It says, I have no idea what this thing is, but it seems to be pretty clear and filled with something. Can I drink it? Hashtag Peepers Rule. So the hashtag Peepers Rule is a constant thing here. But as you can see, we have another image of it. It looks cool. Again, it has like the that translucent skin to it. This image isn't super great blown up because it was kind of a small image to start with, but yeah, we can see basically the translucent stuff. Now this one, like I said, I think it's part of the same one because it has like the same little blotches and bubbles on it on the outside of like the clear part, but it doesn't have like all this stuff growing in it. So I don't know. This one almost makes me leaves me to think maybe it's an organism on the ground, you know, like slugging around, being a little sluggy slug. I don't know. Because if we compare the two, so like the first one, this one, it has it's, you know, the sluggy slug stuff, but it's got like, I don't know, it's got like, it looks like it's in the ground more. It looks way bigger too. It looks larger to me because like I'm looking at like the yellow grass and stuff like that. It looks like way larger, whereas this picture, it looks like the yellow grass is next to it, and this one's a lot smaller. And then as you can see, this bottom side right here, with these like two little prongs and stuff, this looks like the next part, which is, it looks like a mouth. It looks like a mouth. But then you get back to this part, and this part almost looks like a giant coral thing again, because like, look at the grass next to it. The grass is a lot smaller again. So I feel like we're almost looking at two different size things here, or I don't know, maybe the perspectives are weird. I have no idea. But yeah, so like this is like the front, this kind of looks like it would be the eyes and like a mouth. That's what I get off of it. Unless you get something different, leave a comment down below. Now, we've seen something like this in the past. We've seen it in Below Zero. The trees that you go inside of with the giant beaks, you know, that like eat you. And then like that's where you had to get your, you know, certain resources, whatever. You had to go inside and swim inside of them or whatever. It kind of reminds me of those a little bit. In the clear stuff aspect, maybe you swim inside the mouth of this thing. I don't know. Maybe it's that big. Maybe it's not. I have no idea. But there's other things in this picture that are kind of cool too. Like we got this sweet looking tree over here that has like these things hanging off it. It looks really cool. It looks neat. It almost looks like I get like from this picture, I almost get like an autumn kind of feeling area. Where, you know, we have like different biomes and stuff like that, but like there's like yellows and redishes and browns and like things like that. And it kind of, I don't know, that's what I think. There's also peeper in the background. It looks like we've got some boomerang fish. I think boomerang fish are just like a thing, a universal everywhere thing. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks like we have some water texture on up here as well. Now this, I will say that all of these images, in my opinion, I don't think, and I could be wrong here, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, I don't think these are taken in game. And the reason for that is because I feel like the colors are extra poppy. I feel like the lighting is extra harsh. I don't feel like it has like the so like in Subnautica, like above water you have that harsh sunlight, underwater you have that, you know, the lighter filtered sunlight because it's underwater, and you get that like looking around. I don't feel like that's here yet, so it almost like the maybe like the water that we're seeing up here is just like a, you know, a texture, like a surface texture or whatever. The lighting hasn't come through, they haven't got the, you know, the effects, all that, the penetration effects or whatever. Oh yes, I said it. So this looks like it may, I mean, maybe it is in game, but maybe it's like early stages, or maybe it's just render. I don't know. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. So these are the 3 images that we have here. Now, these all look very similar to what we've already come to know with Subnautica. Subnautica, even Below Zero. Below Zero had a much colder look to it. I don't know how to explain it. It had a lot more blues. It had a lot more, it just had a lot more blues. I feel like Subnautica Below Zero had a lot more blues because blue is like a colder feeling. Whereas Subnautica in the you know, in the first area that you're in, like in the wreaths and stuff like that, they're very bright. They're very warm. They're you know, they represent kind of like a warm, nice, cozy area of safeness, right? That is what this area kind of shows. This area right here, it looks like it would be a relatively safe area because it's warm, it's inviting. And that's just kind of how I feel, you know, very colorful, very vibrant, very fun, where, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Now, is this the same place? I don't know. I would say it's definitely more likely to be like a, you know, place like Subnautica, like the first game, a location like that, than it is to be Below Zero next to, you know, a frozen area. But still, nonetheless, now let's get back to this, if this is the same planet or not, because as we were told, it was a explore an oceanic world in stunning stylized graphics on Unreal Engine 5. Single or 1 to 4 co-op to uncover the mysteries of an entirely new alien planet. There is one thing that goes along with this, and this is also speculation at this time, but this is a Reddit post. This is a that somebody got. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this was a time capsule, but it is a yeah, I believe this was a time capsule. So there's an image on the time capsule that says, "Thank you for your purchase, Altera." But what the text with it, and again, this is a Reddit post, so I don't know. Like, could have been made, could have all this stuff. I have no idea. Altera Corporation purchase receipt, order number, blah blah blah. Recipient James Anderson. Delivery Abraxas Prime. Date April 4th, 2237. Item purchased 1 Altera Nutri-Nourish Nourish Block ×2. Altera Power Flow Battery Premium ×2. Altera Power Flow Premium or Power Cell 1. Altera Home Poster Prawn Suit 1. Total cost $51,399.99. Thank you for choosing Altera Corporation. For your interstellar travel needs, if you have any inquiries that require further assistance, please do not hesitate to contact our customer support. Legal disclaimer: attention, if you are not in the intended recipient of this package, please report the cargo to the nearest Altera Corporation outpost or facility. Unauthorized access to use of the package may result in consequences as determined by the Altera Corporation. Safe travels, best wishes. What is cool about this? The delivery address of Abraxas Prime. Now, if we remember in Subnautica, when you start the game, there are no weapons except for a survival knife because of the massacre that happened on Abraxas Prime. So, this is where we're going to get our thinking caps on. This is where we're going to get our speculations going, our speculation spectacles, whatever you want to call it. We're doing it. Are we going back? Are we prequeling to Abraxas Prime to the incident? First of all, I would like to say that would be super cool. I think it'd be really neat to see, to have the firsthand account of the massacre that happened on Abraxas Prime. Because if we know anything from Altera, they lie and they spin whatever they need to make it sound good to everybody else, so their shareholders, right? Like, we know this. This happened during the game. This happened during Subnautica. This happened during Below Zero. All that stuff. Altera is essentially an evil corporation. They only worry about money. So, the massacre, was it actually a massacre, or did something happen that caused all of this death and destruction? Did something crash? Or did something else take everybody out? So that is my question is, are we going to be able to play on Abraxas Prime? Are we going to play through the story that is the, that is the essential massacre that happened? Are we going to get a new set of tools, are we going to get weapons for the first time ever in Subnautica? I don't believe so, because I see this, and this is the other side, is I don't think so, because I know they wanted to make a survival horror game without guns. I know they wanted to do that, and that's what they did in Subnautica, and I think that's also why they had that, the disclaimer, like, that's removed because of Abraxas Prime. Well, now we're getting the Abraxas Prime stuff, maybe. So, like, are we going to get some weapons to fight back stuff? And are we going to be fighting stuff? So is that a thing? Or is it... Let me slow down and back up. Is it going to be that we're fighting something and that there's going to be aliens, like like an actual alien species? Like, what if it's the precursors? What if we came across the precursors and they're very hostile? And we're trying to fight back against those. Like, what if that was the massacre that happened via an other alien life form, but they didn't want to say that, right? So they're saying, hey, it was one person did it, they lost their mind, whatever. We can't talk about it, But we've taken the precautions by taking everything out of the survival set, right? That could be. Or is it that a ship crashed and killed everybody and they don't want to say that a ship crashed because they have safe travels and all this stuff. And so they needed to have a scapegoat on that. Or was there a disease? Or was there, you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of things that could be played out here that I think would be really cool to see what happened on Abraxas Prime. Because, like I said, I have every inkling says that what was said on Abraxas Prime, the massacre that happened, wasn't actually the massacre that they say it was. It wasn't caused by, like, somebody just losing it and just going rogue and just, taken out everybody. I don't think so. I think it was a cover up for something else, and I think it'd be cool to explore on that. Now, is that the game that I want? I don't necessarily know that that's the game that I want. The game that I want, I kind of want to progress the story in the ancient and all that, the precursor technology and all that stuff. I kind of want to explore that a little bit more. However, if it was a prequel to that, I would absolutely love it and play it and have a great time with it. But I want to know more of the story that we already have. But I mean, I also wouldn't be upset with a prequel. So, but you leave a comment down below. Let me know. Would you rather have a prequel? Would you rather have a sequel? And what sequel would you want? Because I think we have multiple different avenues now. I think we have the Subnautica sequel, which is Subnautica 2, which is, I think, is what we're getting. We have the Subnautica Below Zero sequel, which would be, I believe, Below Zero 2, where we go through the portal and see what happens with Alan and all that stuff. That would be, oh my god, that would be pretty sick. Because the ending of the game is very cool, very sick. Spoiler warning, I guess. Too late. Sorry. So I would love to see that as well. But I think the Subnautica 2, and I think the naming that they're using right now for Subnautica 2, I think that leads more into a sequel than a prequel. But they could also be just saying that to throw you off. I have no idea. Or this Reddit post can be completely bupkis, and this was just somebody made this up. I have no idea. But yeah, leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are interested on the information I got most of this from the Subnautica Steam community page. If you go to the Steam communities, look up Subnautica, and just look at screenshots or whatever, go through recent, whatever, they have spoilers on them, you can find them there. Also, if you go to the Subnautica Reddit page, you can find a lot of the stuff on there as well. So huge shout out to everybody who found this stuff. I have not. If you find a time capsule that has something new in it, let me know. Please let me know. I want to know. But I've had a lot of people ask me about Subnautica 2. Like, I have some kind of insider information. I have no idea. I have no idea. But if I do, I will try to let you know what I can. But yeah, thanks again for coming out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is not a video I typically kind of make, but I want to make it. I want to talk about it because a lot of people have been asking me about it lately. So there you go. There's my thoughts, my opinions, and hopefully that answers questions. If you have more questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.